Many pros believe that Gervonta Davis and Canelo Alvarez are the faces of boxing, but Gervonta Davis is done with Canelo's disrespect towards him. After beating Ryan Garcia, Gervonta Davis definitely thinks that he's the face of boxing now, and he stated, "I remember coming up in the Golden Gloves and seeing Floyd Mayweather Jr. fight at the MGM. It was crazy. I actually just saw Rihanna perform at the Super Bowl, and I thought that's going to be me one day. And we're here. I'm definitely the face of boxing." Leonard Ellerby definitely thinks that Gervonta is one of the biggest names out there right now, and he thinks he's going to be facing the top names in boxing now. Leonard stated, "Tank will fight anybody he wants to fight because he's that big, and it doesn't have to be a belt. I can say that because he's that guy. This is prize fighting, and one thing I do know is that Tank Davis isn't going to be taking a pay cut to do anything. He's the boss, and again, all those guys are terrific fighters. I ain't got to call their names. They're all terrific fighters. They fight their behinds off, but Tank is that dude. All the fights the fans want will eventually happen." Other pros are impressed by Gervonta's fight record, and his resume looks fantastic.
Tank fighting nothing but world champions. I think Pedraza fight when he stepped on stage and he let us know who he was. 285 victories by his opponents, only 12 losses.
Yeah.
That's his opponent since 2017.
Jermell Charlo definitely agrees that Gervonta is the current face of boxing. Jermell stated, "I think truly right now though, the face of boxing gotta be probably Gervonta Davis to me. Right now, if you think about who really conquered the new world, selling out every fight, he's performing well. Everybody wants to stay focused on the negativity, but he's grinding his off." Ahead of Gervonta's fight with Ryan Garcia, Oscar De La Hoya had a feeling that the winner was going to carry the sport for the coming years. Oscar stated, "If he's doing something special Saturday night, he will be the face of boxing. He will be the man. That's how important this fight is. We're gonna find out who is the very best and who's gonna carry the sport on their shoulders for years." Teddy Atlas believes that there are only two other fighters who could rival Gervonta as the face of boxing. Teddy stated, "I think that Canelo and Fury might have an argument over that. The history of the sport tends to lean towards a heavyweight being that face. What I will confirm, what I will validate, what I will second is that he is a hell of a fighter. He's much more than what a lot of people thought he was, which was just a good puncher. He is a complete son of a gun. Not just physically and technically, but mentally. He thinks like a fighter. He behaves like a fighter in that ring. He is patient when he has to be patient. He is always contained and controlled." Mike Tyson definitely agrees that Gervonta is the face of boxing, and he thinks that beating Ryan is what did it for him. Mike stated, "He is truly right. He is the face of boxing. But that's because Ryan Garcia is the draw, and that makes Garcia the face of boxing because of the amount of people that he fills in an arena. Since that fight, Ryan Garcia fans will turn into Tank's fans, and Davis is going to have the biggest drawing power, I believe. Ryan brought those people out, and normally when the draw gets beaten, like Ryan, when he gets beaten, the people that are his fans are now Tank's fans." Canelo Alvarez, on the other hand, believes that Gervonta hasn't done enough to pass him as the face. Canelo stated, "I'm not retired yet, my friend. They can say whatever they want, but it's not that easy. One fight does not put you in that position. You need to do a lot of things. There are a lot of good fighters coming up. One of them is Gervonta for sure, but he needs to do more, not just fight. I like Gervonta Davis a lot, but he needs to do more to be the face of boxing. One fight with Garcia, and I respect Ryan Garcia, isn't going to do it." Regis Prograis definitely thinks that Canelo is still the face of boxing, but he plans to take that claim from him after his next two fights. Regis stated, "Canelo is the man. I think he is still the face of boxing. He might not be #1 pound for pound, but he's still the face of boxing. I really feel like I can be the face of boxing, or close to it, in 2 fights. This fight, then something after that can hopefully be something big also. Ryan, Teo, or someone like that. This is right there for me to grab. I just have to put in the work, which I've been doing. I think it's there for the taking." Jake Paul had a very interesting way of making his picks, but he still sees Canelo above Gervonta.
I would say, it's like Gervonta, Canelo, I would say like Canelo's probably still the face, Gervonta's the and I'm the.
Errol Spence definitely thinks Canelo is on top, and he thinks there's more to it than boxing. Errol stated, he's pound for pound. He made $200 million last year. He's definitely pound for pound. I like watching Canelo. The pound for pound stuff is cool, and being a Hall of Famer is great. But you want to get your money first, because 90% of the boxers in the Hall of Fame are probably broke. Eddie Hearn seems to have a similar mindset, and he thinks that Gervonta needs to do more work to beat Canelo. Eddie stated they want to put him as the face of boxing for one fight against Ryan Garcia. What had Tank Davis done in his previous pay-per-view fight? 60,000, 70,000, 100,000, 150,000. Tank fought in one of the biggest fights in boxing against one of the biggest names in boxing, Ryan Garcia, and collectively they did very well. What matters is the dollars in the bank. That's when you talk about the face of boxing. That's when you talk about the biggest star in boxing, and that's Canelo Alvarez, time and time again. Canelo feels more confident than ever that he's returned to his prime skill level. Canelo stated, "I'm a strong fighter all the time, against all the fighters. I'm a strong man. Nobody can beat this Canelo. We worked on attacking the body for 3 months. For 3 months in the mountains without my family, without everything. I still love boxing. I love boxing so much. Boxing is my life. Boxing made me the person I am today. That's why I love boxing so much. And I love boxing so much because of my fans too." Well, Calvin Ford has tried to assure fans that Gervonta will be taking on some of the biggest names in boxing to elevate his star status. Calvin stated, "Davis versus Lopez is going to happen one day because of the background they have with each other. We've seen them spar each other when they were amateurs and whatnot. That's going to be a good fight one day. I think when they get to a point when all the smoke is cleared with all these other guys, I'm hoping Teofimo will hold that 140 spot and Tank will hold his spot. These great moments that we're seeing in boxing are going to continue, because you've got to remember these guys are older than the guys coming up underneath them."
I ain't gonna lie, I ain't really trying to be in this too much longer. So that's the answer right there for you.
How old are you now? 28?
28.
Yeah. How much longer are you expecting to do it?
Once I get them guys out of there, I'm gone.
Is that right? So let's say like 30-ish, something like that? Why do you want to get out so soon?
I want to just help people that's coming behind me. I feel as though that's more important. Future.
Gervonta Davis has had it with the disrespect he's been getting from fans about not being the face of boxing, and he tweeted, "This boxing mine, buddy. The weight class, I am the face." If you enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe and check out some of our other videos on the screen right now.